Minister of the Russian Federation. In general, the situation in the area of the special military operation has stabilized. Battle capabilities has significantly increased due to the volunteers and draftees who increased the number of troops. We have created additional reserves. Due to the active actions of the troops, all the attempts to attack at the Kupiansk and Krasny-Liman directions were stopped. Other than that, the individual directions, we resumed our offensive. In Donetsk, we have completed defeating the adversary on the right bank of the Bakhmutka River to the south of Artyomovsk. Currently, there are active actions to block the city from the south. There is street combat in the east of Artyomovsk. There is a successful offensive to liberate Mayanki and Pervomayskaya. In South Donetsk direction, we are completing the liberation of Pavlovka settlement. Near Vremenska, the troops squeezed out the adversary and occupied the heights in the depth of his defense lines. The adversary is suffering huge harm and damage. More than 12,000 troops and a lot of helicopters and planes, 6 anti-air defense complexes, and more than 800 other vehicles, 21 combat vehicle and MLRS systems were destroyed. Some 350 mercenaries were destroyed and eliminated, and despite a lot of losses in vehicles and troops, the adversary does not stop its offensive, but all his attempts are stopped, and we are restoring our front lines. Mr. Surovikin, I would like to draw your attention to the training of the draftees before they are sent to the combat zone. They should be first deployed at the rear, and they should train together with those who have combat experience. Only those soldiers who have skills according to their military profession should be sent to the front line. And officers who could work on the cohesion of the troops should be appointed as their superiors. Yes? Mr. Surovikin, earlier you reported on the situation near Kherson. The defense is sustainable there, but there is some detail, some nuances. What is the situation there? Comrade Defense Minister, I'm reporting, we successfully rebuke all the attempts of the adversary offensive. Since August until October, Ukrainian armed forces lost more than 9,500 troops as killed and wounded, hundreds of combat vehicles and tanks, some 600 automobiles, and more than 50 artillery guns and mortars were destroyed. As is well known, the side on the offensive is suffering heavier casualties than those in defense. Our casualties are 7-8 times smaller than the adversaries. First of all, we care about the life of every Russian soldier. Adversary is striking administration buildings, schools, hospitals, other social infrastructure facilities, those civilians who are evacuating to the other bank of Dnieper, and we are carrying out distribution of humanitarian aid. We are repelling these attacks. A lot of missiles are being intercepted by our missile defense systems, but some of them are reaching their targets. Our engineers are rebuilding the crosses across the Dnieper to sustain the combat capabilities of our troops. Under such circumstances, Kherson and settlements nearby cannot be supplied in full. Lives of the people are under constant Our engineers are rebuilding the crosses across the Dnieper to sustain the combat capabilities of our troops. Under such circumstances, Kherson and settlements nearby cannot be supplied in full. Lives of the people are under constant risk due to these strikes. Enemy is shooting and striking the city randomly. There is a possibility that they will use prohibited methods. That's why the administration of the region made a decision to evacuate civilians to Crimea and other regions due to this. Currently, everyone who wanted to, which is more than 115,000 people, left this area. We did everything possible to provide their safe evacuation. The plan might have planned to flood the area downstream to the Kakhovka power plant, and they keep targeting the Kakhovska Dam. So on September 26th, they targeted and damaged one of the sluices. And they were dumping water starting from October the 10th is another reason that causes concern that this river could flood the areas downstream. If the Kiev regime will continue to escalate, it will continue to dump water, or they will use a stronger missile attack, missile strike, there will be so much water that it will flood a lot of the area. It will lead to a lot of casualties among civilians. There will be additional threat for the civilian population, and it will lead to the isolation of our troops on the right bank of the Dnieper. Under these circumstances, it will make most sense to organize the defense along the Dnieper River. Comrade Defense Minister, after comprehensively estimating the current situation, I suggest to hold the defense line on the left bank of the Dnieper River. I know that it is a hard decision to take, but at the same time we will preserve the most important thing, the lives of our soldiers, and we will preserve the combat capabilities of our troops, because if we keep them on the right bank in this restricted area, it will have no prospects. Other than that, we will liberate some troops and some vehicles that we can use for the offensive operation in the other directions in the zone of the military operation. Minister Surovikin, I agree with your conclusions and with your suggestions. To us, the lives and health of Russian soldiers is always a priority. We also must take into consideration the threats for the civilian population, make sure that everyone among the civilians had a chance to leave the area, start withdrawing the troops, and take every necessary step to safely pull the troops and the equipment across the Dnieper River on the other bank. In the nearest future, we will start maneuvering. The troops will take prepared defensive lines on the left bank of the Dnieper River. Report is over.